Your first hour of the day is not merely a warm-up. It is the defining event that sets the trajectory for everything that follows. The untrained person wakes up and immediately hands control of their mind to the external world. The urgent ping of the phone, the demands of the news cycle, the anxieties of the day ahead. They start their day reactive rather than deliberate. The Stoics, from the Emperor Marcus Aurelius to the former slave Epictetus, understood that the morning was the time to install the operating system for the soul. They knew that the day ahead would be filled with inevitable chaos, difficult people, frustrating setbacks, and tests of character. If you do not prepare your mind for these challenges, you will fail them. The philosophy is simple. You must prepare your character before you engage the world. The morning ritual is not about fleeting motivation, it is about premeditation, the rational, deliberate use of the mind to immunize yourself against the emotional wounds the day will try to inflict. When you consciously apply philosophical principles before the world has a chance to scramble your focus, you are building an inner citadel that is fortified before the siege even begins. Consider Marcus Aurelius, who, as emperor, was burdened by the weight of the entire Roman world. His mornings were not a rush to the throne room. His journal, Meditations, reveals a ritual of self-examination and mental preparation. He was not checking the imperial newsfeed, he was checking his soul's alignment. He had a very real, very pressing reason to train his mind. The stability of the empire rested on his emotional stability. For us, the stakes may not be imperial, but they are equally profound. The stability of your life, your happiness, and your peace rests on your emotional stability. I learned this lesson not in philosophy books, but in the crucible of entrepreneurship. For years, my morning was the classic hustle, checking emails before my feet hit the floor, chasing urgency, and letting the market's volatility set my mood. This reactive existence led to chronic anxiety and a profound sense of emptiness, even amidst success. The first change that began to turn my life around was the radical decision to lock the door to my mind for the first hour of the day. No phone, no news, just the deliberate practice of what I call the 5 habits of the unshakable mind. We are not aiming for level 1 stoicism, which is just reading the quotes. We are aiming for level 3, the practitioner who uses these principles as a rigorous daily mental training program. A practical habit. The single most important step you can take today is a physical one. Move your phone's charging location out of your bedroom. The bedroom is for sleep and intimacy. The phone is for utility. This physical boundary creates the necessary space for a philosophical morning. Reflective question. Are you starting your day by acting in accordance with your highest values, or are you immediately outsourcing your focus and attention to the external demands of others? The first, and arguably most powerful tool in the Stoic morning arsenal, is the memento mori meditation, the reflection on your own mortality. This isn't morbid, it is the ultimate tool for clarity and urgency. The phrase literally means, remember, you must die. The greatest source of our daily anxieties, the fear of rejection, the worry about a small professional slight, the procrastination on a major life goal, is based on the illusion of infinite time. We act as if we can afford to be petty, to put off the hard decisions, and to live out of alignment with our true purpose. The memento mori practice shatters this illusion in a powerful, immediate way. It doesn't tell you to live every day as if it were your last. It tells you to live this moment as if it were your most important. Before you engage the world, sit quietly and visualize not your death itself, but the implications of a limited clock. 1. The final day reflection. Visualize your day starting and ending abruptly, with no warning, a week from now. What are the 3 most pressing virtuous things you would regret leaving unsaid or undone today? Is it telling a loved one what they mean to you? Is it finally taking that courageous action at work? Is it reconciling a dispute? 2. The external irrelevance. Contemplate the external things you currently worry about: the small fight with a colleague, the critical email, the pursuit of a status symbol. How much will any of that matter on your deathbed? 0. This instantly downgrades the urgency of the trivial and upgrades the urgency of the profound. 3. The gift of today. Conclude with the profound realization: today is the bonus round. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that he might die before he had a chance to complete his work. This reflection transforms the day from a tedious obligation into a sacred opportunity for disciplined action and character growth. The power of this technique is that it injects existential perspective into the beginning of your day. The person who fears death is paralyzed by life. The person who accepts death is freed to truly live. When you practice this, your priorities instantly snap into alignment, and the petty dramas that once consumed your attention are dismissed as distractions from the real work of living well. A practical habit. Write the phrase "Hodie Vivo" on a small sticky note and place it on your bathroom mirror. Every morning, read it and mentally commit to one thing you will do today that is aligned with your most important values. A thing you would not regret if your time ran out at sunset. Reflective question. If you knew with certainty that you had only 1 week left of rational action, what time-wasting habit would you immediately abandon, and what essential conversation would you finally initiate? This habit, known in Stoicism as premeditatio malorum, is the ultimate resilience training. It runs directly contrary to modern feel-good positive thinking, and that is why it is so effective. Instead of pretending everything will be perfect, you spend a few minutes rationally contemplating what could go wrong and what you would lose. This is not pessimism, it is rational preparedness. You are mentally rehearsing adversity so that when it inevitably arrives, you are not caught off guard by the emotional shock. In this morning habit, you sit and deliberately imagine the loss of the good things you currently enjoy, which you likely take for granted. Loss of relationships. Imagine the sudden final absence of your partner, your child, or a close friend. Don't wallow in the feeling, but acknowledge the profound hole their loss would leave. Loss of possessions, stoic status. Imagine a market crash wiping out your savings, or a personal health crisis forcing you out of your career. Where would your worth reside then? Loss of abilities. Imagine the loss of your physical mobility, your sight, or your capacity for clear thought. The power of this practice is twofold. 1. Building resilience. By mentally facing the worst-case scenario, you inoculate yourself against the shock. You realize, I have thought about this, and I have a philosophical plan for how I would handle the loss of the external, my character remains mine. 2. Building instant gratitude. The moment you finish the visualization, you return to your real life, and your partner is still there, your health is still intact, and your finances are still stable. This reality check generates a wave of immediate, profound gratitude for the things you possess, transforming them from entitlements into gifts. Common mistake to avoid. Do not dwell on the fear or the panic. The visualization must be conducted through the lens of rational detachment. The purpose is to observe the potential loss, not to be consumed by it. Seneca taught that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This exercise flips that, allowing us to proactively suffer in imagination, so we don't suffer needlessly in reality. I used this technique constantly during the volatile periods of my business life. While my competitors were collapsing into panic over market shifts, my mind was calm because I had already mentally bankrupted myself dozens of times. I had resolved that if the money disappeared, my integrity and my capacity to rebuild remained. That internal resolution kept me cool under pressure and allowed me to make rational, rather than fearful, decisions. A practical habit. Look at one item you value every morning: your coffee cup, your car keys, a family photograph. State, silently, This is on loan. It can be taken back at any time. I will use it well today, and if I lose it tomorrow, I will handle the loss with dignity. Reflective question. What one thing are you most taking for granted today? And how would the immediate, unexpected loss of it force you to finally focus on the essential, controllable elements of your life? Most people set goal-based intentions in the morning. I will close this deal. I will finish this report. I will run 3 miles. The Stoic sets virtue-based intentions. I will be just in this negotiation. I will be temperate with my attention. I will show courage in this difficult conversation. This is a fundamental difference. Goals are external, and subject to fortune virtues are internal and entirely within your control. You can't guarantee you'll close the deal, but you can guarantee you'll act with justice regardless of the outcome. The morning is the time to align your daily actions with the 4 cardinal Stoic virtues. 1. Justice. How will I treat others today? Who do I need to be honest with? Where must I be fair, even if it is to my own disadvantage? 2. Temperance. Where will I face temptation today? With food, with work ethic, with emotional reaction? How will I exercise rational restraint? This is the discipline of attention, saying no to the trivial so you can say yes to the essential. 3. Courage. What difficult conversation am I avoiding? Where do I need to speak the truth despite fear? Where must I endure discomfort to achieve a greater good? 4. Practical wisdom. What decision am I facing today? How will I stop and use reason instead of impulse? What is the most rational path to the goal? Instead of a generic to-do list, your morning routine should include simple writing prompts. For example, justice. Today, I will interact with person X. My intention is to act with fairness, even if they act unjustly. Specifically, I will. Temperance. My greatest threat to focus today is my email to social media. I will restrain myself by courage. I have to present an uncomfortable truth to person Y. I will do so with clarity and without apology, viewing the discomfort as a test of my character. This practice transforms your focus from the outcome to the process. Your success for the day is now defined not by whether you achieved your external goals, but whether you upheld your internal standards. This is the unshakable foundation. No matter what external chaos ensues, you can end the day knowing you were true to your own character. A practical habit. Take 3 minutes every morning and write down one major anticipated event for the day. Underneath it, write the single Stoic virtue that will be most tested by that event, and a brief sentence detailing your virtuous intention. Reflective question. What is one thing you will do today that is purely a reflection of your commitment to self-control? And how will you measure that success without relying on any external feedback? The mind and the body are not separate. They are 2 sides of the same coin, and the philosophy of the iron mind demands the discipline of the body. The goal of physical practice in Stoicism is not mere fitness, it is mental training and the cultivation of voluntary discomfort tolerance. This is where you intentionally introduce a small, manageable dose of hardship into your routine, conditioning your will to endure minor suffering so it can handle major suffering. One of the most effective ways to practice this is through cold exposure. A 60-second cold shower is not an exercise for the body. It is a mental exercise in non-negotiable action. The willpower test. The moment you step into that cold stream, your mind screams, "Stop!" Retreat, warmth. This is the moment of training. You must consciously override the instinctual desire for comfort with the rational command of your will. This practice strengthens the command center of your mind. Voluntary discomfort. You are training your body and mind to understand that discomfort is not a signal of danger, but merely a sensation that can be observed, accepted, and endured without an emotional freakout. This resilience translates directly to enduring an annoying client, a financial setback, or a painful argument. Beyond the cold, viewing exercise not as a means to a body image but as a mental practice is essential. When you hit the wall during a run, that is a test of courage and temperance. When you lift a weight that requires intense focus and controlled effort, you are practicing practical wisdom and discipline. You are preparing your body to be an obedient tool for your rational will. Your body must serve the mind, not rule it through impulses of hunger, laziness, or desire for ease. The strong mind resides in a disciplined body. When I started my journey, I was a wreck from chronic stress. The gym wasn't an option. It was a non-negotiable part of rebuilding my inner architecture. I didn't train to be big. I trained to be disciplined. The pain of the heavy lift became the practice for enduring the pain of a bad market quarter. A practical habit. Before your next physical activity, state the philosophical intention. If you are doing a hard workout, say, "I am not training my muscles. I am training my will to endure the desire to quit." Apply this intention to the full 60-second blast of cold water at the end of your shower, focusing only on your breath and your resolve. Reflective question. What one form of discomfort are you currently avoiding? And how is that avoidance conditioning your mind to retreat at the first sign of real adversity? The final, non-negotiable component of the Stoic morning ritual is journaling. This is not a diary of your feelings. It is a rational audit of your thoughts and a self-assessment of your character. It is the tool for achieving radical self-awareness and tracking your progress toward Level 3 practice. The Stoics knew that an unexamined life is a life lived by accident, where habits and impulses rule. Journaling is the conscious act of shining the light of reason onto the darkest corners of your behavior. Your journaling structure can be concise, but it must be penetrating. Focus on the upcoming day. 1. Anticipation. List 3 potential difficulties you will face today. For each, write down the most irrational response you are likely to have. 2. Intention. Next to the irrational response, write the most rational, virtuous response you will commit to. 3. The test. End with a simple, powerful declaration of control. Today, I will focus entirely on my effort, my judgment, and my character. The outcome is not my concern. The power of the journal lies in the questions you ask. Do not ask how you feel. Ask why you judge an event the way you do. What external event am I allowing to steal my peace, and what is the irrational judgment I am applying to that event? If an enemy were watching my actions today, where would they find evidence of my lack of self-control? Am I chasing wealth, or am I cultivating meaning? Journaling provides the accountability. It is the single piece of evidence that tells you where you are still failing to apply your principles. It tracks your progress toward Level 3, the practitioner who systematically roots out irrationality and replaces it with logic and self-command. A practical habit. Commit to only 3 lines of journaling if you are pressed for time, but make those 3 lines philosophical. Today, the universe will test my patience with X. My choice is to remain calm. My measure of success is the quality of my action, not the outcome. Reflective question. How can you make your journaling less about recording events and feelings and more about the rational, merciless audit of your own capacity for self-deception and irrational judgment? The philosophy is useless without the practical blueprint for implementation. These 5 habits are not meant to consume your morning, they are meant to structure it. The strength of the unshakable mind comes from consistency, not intensity. You can install the entire operating system of an iron mind in 30 minutes. Here is the architecture. 1. The ignition. Memento mori. Meditation. Visualize loss. Embrace urgency. Negative visualization. Appreciate the present reality. Cold exposure, the physical discipline test. 2. The blueprint. Virtue-based intention setting. Write your one major event and its virtue. Stoic journaling. Apply the 3-part audit. 3. the fortification, physical discipline, a short walk, a brief stretching sequence, or focused breathing. Do not check your phone or the news during this time. Use this time to internalize your plan for the day. Obstacle, untrained response, stoic remedy. I don't have time. Skip the routine entirely. Feel guilty. Memento mori. You are literally saying you don't have 30 minutes to invest in the quality of your entire life. Cut 30 minutes of external distraction from your day instead. I feel silly doing this. Abandon the practice due to ego. Virtue-based intention. Your commitment to courage and wisdom is more important than the judgment of others or your own self-doubt. Do the work, in secret if needed. I forgot a day. Get angry, quit, or slide into inconsistency. Negative visualization. This is an external event. Accept the failure calmly and rationally commit to resuming the practice today. Do not let one lapse turn into two. The goal is not perfection. The goal is unbroken practice. If you miss a morning, you simply start again the moment you remember. That calm return to reason is, in itself, the practice of stoicism. Your commitment to the routine is the ultimate testament to your self-respect. A practical habit. Block out the first 30 minutes of your day on your digital calendar as inner citadel fortification. Treat this appointment with the same gravity you would treat a meeting with your most important client. Reflective question. What is the single biggest time-wasting activity that currently precedes your morning routine? And what rational policy can you implement today to eliminate it, thereby creating the necessary space for self-mastery? We have covered the 5 anchors of the unshakable mind. Memento mori for perspective, negative visualization for gratitude and resilience, virtue-based intention for alignment, physical discipline for mental strength, and stoic journaling for self-awareness. The purpose of these habits is to give you a choice in every moment of your day. The untrained mind is a sailboat on a stormy sea, tossed by every wind of circumstance and emotion. The mind that practices these 5 habits daily is a fortified battleship, rationally commanding its course, immune to the petty waves. You do not control the chaos of the world, but you possess the absolute, unquestionable power to control how you prepare for it. The morning is the moment of commitment. It is the time to decide, before the first external demand arrives, that you will be a rational agent today, not a reactive victim. The choice is yours. Will you let the day happen to you, or will you command your day? Begin with the 2-minute memento mori tomorrow. The moment you accept your limited time, your entire life begins to shift.